This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Reed Gregory.
And I'm Zoe Jones. We have a Valley News Live exclusive for you this evening as a boy in Barnesville, Minnesota will soon have his third open heart surgery since he was born. The Valley Today's Jordan Schreier sat down with the boy and his mother to learn about his complicated medical history and how he's defying the odds.
A water bug that loves bowling and Disney movies. That's how Isaac Douglas's mom describes the soon-to-be 12-year-old boy.
He's so positive all the time. He makes you look at the positive things, that's for sure. And at the end of the day, things could be so much worse than what they are too.
However, his doctors might describe his existence as a miracle, telling mom Tasha that he would likely die in utero or shortly after birth.
I was told I was going to have a miscarriage at the beginning of the pregnancy, actually, just because of your levels when they do your blood work and stuff like that.
Prenatal testing confirmed he would have some heart problems, and he was diagnosed with DeGeorge syndrome at just days old. It's a random genetic mutation where he's missing a small part of his 22nd chromosome.
It was stressful. It was a lot. I think for a long time I was kind of in shock with everything, to be honest.
Because of the condition, Isaac's artery from his heart to his lungs didn't fully develop.
Unfortunately, though, as time went on, they noticed that those little vessels were pinching shut. And we were actually told he wouldn't even make it to be one because they couldn't proceed with any form of surgery as they knew of that would do anything. They said literally the world's smallest needle wouldn't be able to do anything to those vessels because of how small they were.
He needed heart surgery from a specialist in California at just 1 month old.
It was stressful. I watched him get bluer and bluer every day. And it finally got to the point where they did transfer him down there and he was able to have the surgery.
The first surgery was always known as prep for a second heart surgery, which he had in California within the same year.
The second surgery was basically what they called the full repair. So that first surgery kind of got him ready for it, and then the second one, they put in a little conduit so that blood will flow easier from his heart to his lungs.
As an infant, Isaac needed a feeding tube. He also had a stroke at 2 weeks old and was then diagnosed with epilepsy.
It's been a long journey. We started with, coming home the first time, being on 14 different medicines, including a shot twice a day, a feeding tube. So we had to do specific formula for him. It was actually prescribed formula for him to actually gain weight and be healthier. Yeah.
As part of DeGeorge syndrome, he also has low calcium, a weakened immune system, and autism. He's currently nonverbal and uses a device to communicate.
Grandma and Papa T.
Grandma and Papa T, I know.
Now, several years later, he needs another heart surgery. But where and when is still up in the air.
The hardest part has been the not knowing what the direct plan is, really.
Despite all of these medical complications and life changes, the family of 4 remains hopeful.
I don't think I would be where I'm at if I didn't have Isaac.
While Isaac's health and heart struggles physically, the soul within his 4 chambers needs no mending.
If he could talk, that's the only thing I hope for in the future, is that and him being happy. That would be it. Just because he's so dang smart that it would be nice to know what's going on in his head.
In Barnesville, Jordan Schreier, Valley News Live.
As of now, the family still doesn't know if Isaac's third surgery will be in Minneapolis or in California.
If you want to help with medical and living expenses while the family goes through this journey, we have a link to a GoFundMe available on the VNL News app. You can also make a donation in person at any Gate City Bank location under the Isaac Heart Surgery Fund.
Now let's check in with First Alert Storm Team Shelby Ebertowski for a look at our forecast. Shelby, how's it going?
Well, Zoe and Reed, temperatures are still decreasing, already having some of those clear skies and those calm winds here in Fargo. We are sitting at 56 degrees with those calm winds and that humidity relatively high, still at 72% because we also have some showers in the Northern Valley. Now, these showers are just regular light showers producing some precipitation, but some of this is not even making it to the ground. Now, this has been something we've been tracking all evening, and this is going to continue to produce some showers as we head ahead throughout the rest of your overnight hours with temperatures still in those 50s and 60s, 64 in Thief River Falls, 59 in Hallock and Langdon, and even 53 already in Jamestown. And those temperatures are only going to get cooler overnight tonight, with those dew point temperatures causing some dry areas. Like here in Fargo, our dew point temperature is at 47, and the closer your dew point temperature is to your regular air temperature, that helps determine your humidity. But this morning, guys, we were waking up in some areas in those 30s, like Langdon and Candu at 39. We have another cooler night ahead of us for tonight, but I'll have your full forecast for you coming up in a few moments.
All right, Shelby, thank you. New for you tonight, a Fargo man was injured in a rollover crash near Kindred this afternoon. According to police, just after 4 p.m., 32-year-old Tori Christensen of Fargo was driving a 2001 Yamaha dirt bike on Highway 32. He drove over a field approach, lost control, and was ejected from the bike.
Officials say he has non-life-threatening injuries. He was not wearing a helmet in the crash. He was also arrested and charged with driving under the influence.
And we now know the name of the individual behind a standoff and house fire that took place yesterday afternoon in Moorhead.
41-year-old Sean Aaron-Holtz of Moorhead was arrested and is being held at the Clay County Corrections Facility on a long-form complaint requesting charges for felony first-degree arson, false imprisonment, third-degree assault, and fifth-degree domestic assault. Aaron-Holtz started a fire yesterday at around 1:20 p.m. in the 800 block of 7th Avenue South.
Upon arrival, officers noted a male run back into the home where the fire was taking place, and a short time later, he emerged onto the home's roof. Now, while the fire department was actively fighting the fire, Aaron-Holtz refused to come down and actually threatened to jump if anyone approached. With the assistance of the Red River Valley SWAT, officers were able to take Aaron-Holtz into custody at 9 p.m. last night.
New reports say that over 2,100 people have been killed in the earthquake that struck Morocco, and over 2,400 have been injured. Rescuers warn that the toll is still expected to rise. Many are now homeless and have nowhere to go, as the buildings were not built to withstand such a powerful quake. Officials say that several are still unaccounted for. Rescue efforts are doing their best to help. The 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck late on Friday night. It was the strongest quake to hit the region around the ancient city of Marrakesh in a century, according to the U.S. Geological Survey.
Now nearly 400 officers are searching for the convicted killer who escaped from a Pennsylvania prison late last month. Authorities say Danilo Cavalcante was spotted overnight Saturday, but he has since then changed his appearance. Police say he reportedly was seen in Chester County near Phoenixville driving a transit van stolen from a dairy farm. Investigators Sunday morning located that stolen van behind a barn. However, Cavalcante was nowhere to be found. Search teams are now focusing on the area and have concerns the suspect will yet again steal another vehicle. He was able to escape prison by scaling between two walls, climbing a fence, and traversing across razor wire. Cavalcante was convicted of first-degree murder last month for the 2021 killing of his former girlfriend in Chester County. He's also wanted in Brazil related to a 2017 homicide.
Back home, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz issued an order earlier today to lower all United States and Minnesota flags to half-staff at state buildings across the state. This move comes as the nation observes the 22nd anniversary of the tragic events of September 11th, 2001.
Now, the proclamation calls for the flags to be flown at half-staff from sunrise until sunset on Monday, September 11th. Governor Walz said in a statement today, quote, "September 11th is a solemn day of remembrance across the state of Minnesota. On its 22nd anniversary, we lower our flags in honor of the Americans who were lost, who were injured, and who saved lives on that tragic day. We recognize the incredible heroism of our nation's first responders, and we reflect on the unwavering spirit of the American people."
Governor Walz also extended an invitation to all Minnesotans to join in observing the national moment of silence at 7:46 a.m. Central Daylight Time on the anniversary as a way to pay respects for those affected on that day. Some Republican presidential candidates, including North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, attended the tailgate rally yesterday in Iowa before the big in-state rivalry football game between Iowa and Iowa State.
Although former President Donald Trump holds a commanding lead in the polls, his rivals are just trying to gain some traction. The Iowa caucuses are just a few months away. Now, if elected, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy says he will dismantle what he calls the, quote, cancerous shadow government in the deep state. He says he will unveil a plan later next week to lay off around 75% of all federal employees, as well as shut down some government agencies.
Governor Burgum, however, says the United States is going in the wrong direction, and he blamed the Biden administration for high food and gas prices.
Federal government's got responsibility for for national security. That includes energy security, includes food security, includes border security. And I'll give them an F on all three of those right now. We're going 180 degrees in the wrong direction on all of that.
Well, earlier this Sunday morning at the West Fargo VFW, a new season of the show Rides with Jay Thomas premiered. The show focuses on the sentimental or historical value behind all things cars, bike, planes, or just anything with an engine, and takes us all throughout the region to check them out. You can catch Rides on KVOY and KXJB on Sunday mornings.
And it was a very special day today for a former NDSU Bison player. Cody Mauch made his NFL debut with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Minnesota Vikings. He took the field in Minneapolis this afternoon, and although the Vikings lost with a final score of 20-17 Buccaneers, Mauch was able to walk away a winner. There were watch parties all throughout the area. Be sure to tune in later throughout the show as Jack Wallace will have highlights and more.
And later on Valley News Live, discussions still loom over the so-called abortion pill. We'll have updates for you next.
And sunsets like this here in Toad Lake are really going to get more colorful over the next couple of weeks as we are getting more colors starting to change for the Minnesota foliage. This fall is starting to have its full swing, but don't go anywhere because coming up we'll have your full temperature forecast and how that is going to affect your fall foliage coming up next.